Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Tuesday. All right, guys. Well, we're back to do some hot, messy topics today at 12 p.m. Eastern, which I'm so excited about. And I get to go to, I believe it's an optometrist to get my eyes looked at today. So I'm super excited. And by the way, it is Jason and I's 12-year anniversary today, which is just wild. My God, it's just crazy. But we got some others to talk about. Now, I don't know if this couple is going to make it to 12 years, but you never know. Some had odds stacked against us as well. Smash the like button, show some love, and let's get into it. Okay, the couple in question.
Let me stop you right there, because while you were busy refreshing your timeline, two of the most talked about celebrity couples in the world just handed the internet exactly what it was waiting for. And trust me, the details hit different when you actually slow down and look at what's really going on here. Here is what you need to know. Ethan Slater, the man at the center of one of the messiest celebrity relationship implosions in recent memory, just publicly liked Ariana Grande's Instagram post the same day. The exact same day that Page 6 confirmed the two of them had officially split after 3 years together. Let that land for a second. Your relationship just ended. Your ex is posting photos from the biggest comeback tour of her career, and instead of scrolling past, instead of logging off, instead of doing literally anything else, you hit like. You tap the heart. You let the world see it. And across town, well, not literally across town, but across the entire celebrity universe, Justin Trudeau, former Prime Minister of Canada, the man who once ran an entire country, is wrapping his arm around Katy Perry at the Tribeca Film Festival, stroking her back in front of cameras, holding her hand through her documentary screening, and slow dancing like nobody is watching. Except everybody is watching. Everybody is always watching. These two stories broke on the same day, and somehow together they tell you everything about love, image, and what happens when the curtain comes down on the carefully constructed version of a celebrity's life. Picture this as your visual anchor for everything we are about to get into today. Two spotlights on a stage. One is slowly dimming, but here's what nobody is saying in the headlines. He didn't just defend himself, he exposed something much bigger. And the tears Amanda cried on that stage, they weren't just about hurt feelings. They weren't just about a relationship under a microscope. Those tears were the price of admission, and Was just handed us the receipt. Let me take you back to that night, not the reunion you saw. The reunion that happened when the cameras stopped rolling for their comfort breaks. Because that's where the real story lives. That's where the producers whispered in ears. That's where deals were protected. And that's where Amanda realized something that made her stand up and walk off in the first place. She said, actually, let me rephrase that. She didn't say it, she couldn't. Not yet, but Wes is saying it now. He admitted that when she got up crying, he stayed seated because he thought production would keep asking him questions. He said it didn't make sense for both of them to leave. He said if they walked off together, the cast would criticize that too. Now stop right there. Read that again. He stayed because he thought production would keep asking him questions. Not because he didn't care, not because he was cold, because he understood something that Amanda was still learning. The show doesn't stop for tears. The show eats tears. The show needs the person left behind to keep talking, keep explaining, keep digging the hole deeper while the other person bleeds out in a green room. And this is the part nobody talks about. Was said something else in that interview that should make every single person watching this video sit up straight. He said he doesn't fully agree with Amanda's criticism that castmates have been monetizing the Scamanda scandal. He said reality TV personalities capitalize on major storylines through podcasts and appearances. He said it's part of the business. And you know what? He's right. That's the sick part. He's absolutely right. And that's what makes this so much darker than a boyfriend who didn't chase his girlfriend fast enough. Because Wiz isn't defending himself here. He's admitting to the game. He's saying, yeah, we all do it. Everybody does it. Lala Kent bought a house off Scandival. Shiana probably bought a house off Scandival. Melissa Gorga is making money off sprinkle cookies. This is what we signed up for. Now watch this carefully. Watch how he flips it. He said people have portrayed him as super calculated and strategic. And then he laughed at it. Actually, wait. He didn't just laugh. He said if his goal had truly been maximizing fame or popularity, he would have stayed with Sierra Miller. That would have been the easier choice. The fans wanted that. His public image wanted that. He's saying his choices hurt his reputation instead of helping it. And that right there is the breadcrumb. Because if he's not a clout chaser, if he's not calculated, if he actually hurt his own standing by choosing Amanda, then what are we really watching? What's actually happening? You know, just like I know that the story they sold us doesn't add up. They said he used her. They said he chased fame. They said every move was strategic. But if that was true, why would he admit to any of this? Why would he sit down and say, yeah, I deserve some criticism for my behavior patterns, but most of the assumptions about my motives are false? That's not what a manipulator does. A manipulator doubles down. A manipulator plays the victim. A manipulator cries right alongside Amanda and makes it about his own pain. He didn't do that. He stayed seated. And look, I know that sounds crazy. I know every instinct in your body wants to say, no, a real man goes after her. A real man leaves the stage. And maybe that's true. Maybe that's exactly what a good boyfriend does. But here's the question nobody is asking. What if he couldn't leave? What if the contract says someone has to stay in the chair? What if the producers told him, if you both walk off, we're not coming back. We'll cut the segment. We'll bury the storyline. We'll make sure you're both edited as the villains who ruined the reunion. Because that's how this works. That's how it's always worked. You think these people have free will on that stage? You think when Andy Cohen says, let's take a break, they're actually free to go comfort each other? No, they're free to go to their marks, free to hit their cues, free to cry on command when the light turns red, but free to be human. That's not in the contract. I need you to pause with me for a second. Just breathe. Because I'm about to say something that might feel personal. I've watched this industry for a long time. Too long, probably. And I've seen what it does to people, especially the women. Especially the ones who cry on camera. The industry loves a crying woman, loves her, because tears sell, tears get clipped. Tears become the trailer for next season. But the woman crying, she doesn't get to sell anything except her own breakdown. Amanda walked off that stage, and Wes stayed, and the internet lost its mind. And the headlines wrote themselves. Cold boyfriend. Red flags. She deserves better. But here's what the headlines didn't say. They didn't say who told Wiz to stay. They didn't say who benefits when a woman cries alone. They didn't say who writes the checks that require someone to keep talking while someone else is breaking. And they didn't say, not one of them, why Wiz is only speaking now. Because silence serves a purpose. Silence protects contracts. Silence keeps the machine oiled. And the minute Wiz opened his mouth, he broke an unwritten rule. You don't explain the magic trick. You don't tell the audience how the illusion works. But he did. He said he didn't immediately follow her because he thought production would keep asking him questions. Think about that sentence. Really think about it. He didn't say, I was scared. He didn't say, I froze. He said he was waiting for production. He was waiting for his cue. He was waiting for someone off camera to tell him what to do next. That's not a boyfriend. That's an employee. That's a performer following direction. And the fact that he admitted it, the fact that he just let that sentence hang in the air, tells me he's done playing along. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Wiz also addressed why he didn't immediately follow her backstage. He said he went eventually. After continued criticism from the cast members, he decided to check on her. He went to the dressing room and told her he wanted to make sure she was okay. She was visibly upset. She felt several remarks had cut really deep. But watch this. Watch the manipulation that happened next. He encouraged her to remain composed when she returned to the stage. He suggested keeping responses simple, avoiding sounding defensive or snippy. He reassured her that her emotional reactions were understandable, but then told her not to pop off. Do you see what happened there? She was crying. She was hurt. She was cornered. And instead of leaving with her, instead of holding her hand, instead of walking off that stage and never coming back, he coached her on how to perform the rest of the show. He told her to be composed. He told her to keep it simple. He told her not to pop off. And the worst part, he probably thought he was helping. Because that's what this industry does. It takes good people with good intentions and turns them into handlers, turns boyfriends into managers, turns tears into content, turns a woman's real pain into a note from a producer that says, can you do that again but with more tears and less snot? I'm not saying Wes is the villain here. Actually, I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying he's a victim too, just a different kind. He's the guy who stayed in the chair because he was trained to stay. Because leaving means losing your spot. Because walking off means you don't get invited back. Because the machine needs warm bodies and seats. And if you leave yours, there are 50 people waiting to take it. And that's the thing they don't want you to know. Everyone thinks reality TV is about real people. It's not. It's about people who agreed to pretend to be real while actually doing exactly what they're told. Wes finally broke the silence. And what did he say? He said the criticism is warranted for some of his behavior. He said he understands why viewers are upset. He said the internet has exaggerated some things and created narratives that don't reflect reality. But he also said the quiet part out loud. He said everybody monetizes everything. He said that's the whole reason the show exists. He said he's never going to cry about someone else making money because that's the business. And you know what? That's the most honest thing anyone from that world has said in years. Because it's true. It's all true. Lala bought a house off scandal. Shkuna bought a house off scandal. Melissa sells cookies based on a fight that happened 10 years ago. Every single person on every single franchise has a brand, a product, a podcast, a Patreon, a Cameo account, a something that exists because they agreed to let cameras film their worst moments. So why is Wes the bad guy? Why is he the clout chaser? Why is he the calculated one? Here's the answer. And I need you to hear this. He's the bad guy because he didn't play the game the right way. He didn't cry on command. He didn't chase her fast enough. He didn't give the audience the romance they wanted. He gave them something messy and complicated and real. And real doesn't test well with focus groups. Amanda's tears, those tested great. Those got clipped. Those became the thumbnail. But was staying seated. That confused people. That made them angry. That made them pick sides. And nothing makes the machine happier than sides. Because sides mean engagement. Engagement means algorithms. Algorithms mean money. You see how this works now. This isn't about Amanda. This isn't about Wes. This isn't even about the show. This is about a system that rewards breakdowns and punishes silence. That rewards tears and punishes honesty. That rewards the person who cries on camera and punishes the person who stays in the chair because a producer told him to. And the most evil part, the most demonic part of this whole thing, they convinced us to hate each other over it. They convinced us to call Wiz a narcissist and Amanda a victim and never ask the one question that actually matters. Who profits when a woman cries alone? Who radies the check that requires a man to stay in his seat? Who decides which tears make the trailer and which tears get left on the cutting room floor? You already know the answer. The same people who always profit. The same people who always decide. The same people who sit in offices far away from that stage and look at spreadsheets and say, this moment is going to drive engagement for 6 weeks. They don't care about Amanda. They don't care about Wes. They care about the clip. They care about the argument. They care about you watching this video right now and feeling that anger in your chest. Because anger keeps you watching, keeps you commenting, keeps you coming back. And coming back is the only thing that matters. I want to slow down here for a second. Just you and me. I've been doing this for a long time, watching these stories, breaking them down, trying to find the truth underneath the performance. And I have to tell you, this one hit different. Because I've seen Amanda's tears before. Different face, different show, different year, but the same tears, the same camera angle, the same dramatic walk off, the same boyfriend or husband or partner left behind looking confused. And every time we fall for it, every time we pick a side, every time we forget that we're watching a product designed to make us feel something so we don't notice that the people selling it are bleeding. I'm not saying Amanda wasn't really hurt. I believe she was. I believe she is. I believe those tears came from somewhere real and deep and painful. But I'm also saying that pain was used. It was packaged. It was sold. And he finally stopped pretending he didn't know. He said he doesn't think anybody should be mad about the monetization. He said that's the business. He said that's the whole reason the show exists. And for saying that, for telling the truth, they're painting him as the villain. Because the truth doesn't sell as well as tears. Here's what else he said. And this is the part that broke something in me. He said he thought if they both walked off together, the cast would criticize that too. He said someone needed to remain on stage because the reunion conversation was still happening. He said he expected questions to be directed at him. He was trying to do his job. That's all. He was trying to do his job while his girlfriend cried in a room down the hall, and the internet burned him alive for it. Now ask yourself, and be honest, how many times have you stayed at your desk when someone you loved needed you? How many times have you answered one more email before going to help? How many times have you told yourself, just finish this first, while someone waited? We've all done it. We've all chosen the job over the person. We've all stayed in the chair. The only difference is that nobody was filming us. Wiz didn't have that luxury. His worst moment is a clip. His hesitation is a meme. His mistake is content. And the machine that made it content, they want you to hate him. They need you to hate him. Because if you hate him, you're not asking who built the machine. You're not asking who profits. You're not asking why a woman crying alone is worth more to them than a woman being comforted. Comfort doesn't clip. Comfort doesn't trend. Comfort doesn't drive the algorithm. Pain does. Tears do. Abandonment does. And they know that. They've always known that. Wiz finally broke silence on all of it. Not just the reunion. Not just the crying. Not just the clout chaser label. He broke silence on the business. On the machine. On the reality behind reality TV. And nobody is talking about that part, because that part is dangerous. That part makes people uncomfortable. That part might make you stop watching. And they can't have that. So they'll keep calling him calculated. Keep calling him a clout chaser. Keep replaying the clip of him staying seated while Amanda walks off. But you know better now. You see it. He stayed because he was told to stay. He stayed because leaving meant losing. He stayed because the machine doesn't stop for tears. And Amanda's tears, they were real. But they were also fuel. Fuel for the algorithm. Fuel for the engagement. Fuel for the next season. She cried. They profited. Was talked. They buried him. That's the story. That's always been the story. And the question I'll leave you with, the question they don't want you to ask, is this. If you knew that your pain would be turned into a product, if you knew your tears would be clipped and shared and commented on by strangers who don't know your name, would you still cry on camera? Or would you do what Wiz did? Would you stay seated? Would you keep your face neutral? Would you wait until the camera stopped rolling to feel anything at all? Because that's what this industry does. It doesn't just film broken people. It creates them. It trains them. It rewards the ones who break beautifully and punishes the ones who won't perform their pain on command. Amanda broke beautifully. Wiz didn't. And that's why you're watching this video right now. That's why the comments are going to be on fire. That's why this story isn't over. Because the silence finally broke, and Wiz is the one who broke it. Now I want to hear from you. Not the bots, not the PR accounts. You. How many times have you stayed in the chair when you should have walked away? And who told you to stay there? Drop it in the comments. Because I need to know I'm not the only one who sees this. And while you're typing, remember, they don't want you to talk about this. They want you to argue about Amanda, about Wiz, about who was right and who was wrong. But you're smarter than that. You're awake. You already knew what I was going to say before I said it, so say it with me now. The tears were real. The machine is real. And the only way to beat it is to stop performing. Stop performing your pain. Stop performing your anger. Stop performing for people who see you as a thumbnail. Because the minute you stop performing, they can't use you anymore. And that's the only victory that matters.